Hey guys, Jessica here, and welcome to Let's Talk University. So in my case, I applied to university through OUAC, which is also known as the Ontario University Application Centre. So when I applied for university, I already knew the classes I wanted, the programs I wanted, and the universities I wanted to apply for. So I had no problem as soon as those opened up deciding on what exactly I wanted to apply for. In my case, it's concurrent education with a study in English majors. So, concurrent education is a program that allows me to take my bachelor degree and then automatically be accepted and have my spot saved for Teachers College. It allows me to continue my pathway to being a teacher without having to reapply to university through something like consecutive education, which is where you take your bachelor's degree first and then you reapply to university for Teachers College. Usually this is done by people who don't know if they want to be a teacher, if teaching is what exactly they're planning on doing, or if they wanted something else originally but then changed their mind later on. So my major will be in English Studies, which is a Bachelor's of Arts, and I'll also be obtaining my Bachelor's of Education at the same time. Well, 2 years later. Although I have to choose a minor, since a teacher must have at least 2 teachables, meaning I have to have 2 subjects that I'm qualified to teach in, such as English and art, or English and math, something like that. If you don't take the concurrent program, you could take a double major, which is your 2 main areas of focus, and then you could take a minor. But since I will be getting my Bachelor's of Education and my Bachelor's of Arts at the same time, a double major isn't really possible because it's too hard. So, I haven't really decided on what my minor is going to be. I'm thinking maybe art. I really like art, or drama. I really like math too, so I might do math, or I might graduate from university entirely and then reapply again eventually. Once I've paid all my debts and I'm not $1 trillion in debt. So that was my hope. My hope. Anyway. So I applied for university a couple days before Christmas, and within about a week and a half, I'd already received my acceptance offer for one of my universities. And then 3 weeks later, I received my offer of acceptance for the university that I actually wanted to go to. It was my number one, and I decided, if I got accepted to this one, this is the one I was going to. It's really beautiful. It has classes of only 29 students. It's very, small class sizes, one-on-one. The teachers know you by name, not by number, and so I thought it was very open. It also has a promise that if you graduate and you don't get a job in that area for an entire year, you can come back to their school. You can automatically be accepted back into their school, so you don't have to reapply. And I think it's a wonderful idea. It's very open. It also has a job rating of 98%. 98% of people get a job right after university, which is what I'm hoping to do. I don't want to be a supply teacher for 60 million years. So, I have an offer of admission for BA Honor Specialization in English Studies and a BEd, which is Bachelor's of Education, for the intermediate senior in the concurrent. The Honor Specialization is a higher level of majors, mostly meaning I'll have to take higher level credits with higher expectations and higher expected grades. So I need a minimum of 70% in my Honor Specialization programs. It requires 120 credits, and 60 of those have to be in the Honor Specialization. That is just for English alone, though. That's just my English honors. But then the education honors is a lot of different other credits. I could take French as a second language, which I'm not actually planning on doing since I haven't taken French since grade 9, and I literally could not stand it. I got an 80 in grade 9, and I was nope, that's it. I'm done. I'm not taking this again. So there's no way I could take it in university. I would not be able to survive. So, when you apply to university, it costs $150 to apply to 3 programs. Regardless of what university you're applying to, every program, and you have to apply to 3, it's $150, and each additional is $50 extra. It's literally crazy, and that's just to apply. That's just to be hey, I want to go here, not, hey, I'm in. So, If you're like me, that is a lot of money, and it's like, really sucks. But here is what an entire year in my university will cost me. So my tuition is between $6,423 to $8,984, which is insane. Kills me. My additional fees, so if my course has other fees for like my bus pass too, like stuff like that, it costs me $1,368. My housing is between $5,717 to $6,425. My books and supplies are between $500 to $1,000. My personal fees are supposed to be $3,250, which is like my bedding, like dishes, like stuff like that, stuff that I'm gonna need, like clothes and whatever else they think I'm gonna need in university, I guess. And then my on-campus parking is between $161 to $255, meaning all of these prices added up in 1 year could cost me between $20,019 or $22,982 for 1 year, and I have to go to university for 6 years, which if you multiply those numbers by 6, it adds up to $120,114 to $137,892. And if you're like me and you come from, a lower income family and you haven't had a job for like an entire year, like I've only had a job for a couple months and that was in the summer, like I don't have a job now, then you don't have that much money, and that is a lot of money. Like it literally gives me a heart attack thinking about that, and it's crazy. But thankfully, universities and colleges too, they have scholarships and bursaries. So scholarships you get based on your academic average. It's automatically approved and reviewed when you apply. So in my case, I have an average of 90.33%, which gets me what's known as the President's Scholarship, which is free tuition for my first year. And then, every year after that is $3,000 up until my 4th year. So it doesn't cover my 5th and 6th year, which is my actual concurrent education years. So all I need to keep my President's Scholarship, I need an 85% in all of my following credits. And then, so I highly recommend having a high average in your final year of high school. I know grades seem dumb and you don't seem to care and it doesn't matter, oh my god, it's whatever, but even 1% can count because some universities do not push your thing up. So I had an 89 and it wouldn't raise me to a 90 for free tuition. I would be stuck at the $10,000 entrance scholarship. It was crazy. I needed to come back and take another credit and earn a higher mark. So check your classes, check your school, check if they'll increase your tuition and, not your tuition, if they'll increase your scholarships and everything if you're close to reaching that number that they want. I highly recommend that. And talk to your teachers about your marks, because I've talked to my teachers and they'll do as much as they can to try and help you get that mark you need for that scholarship. Where I live, there's also OSAP, which helps students with lower income families afford post-secondary costs. So I could potentially receive a little over $6,000 in grants due to my financial need. You can also accept loans, but I don't want to accept loans for as long as possible because I don't want to go into debt so early on. I know I'll go into debt eventually, but I'm going to try and hold it off as long as possible. But despite OSAP and scholarships and bursaries, some students still can't afford the enormous cost of post-secondary. There are many students at my school who are taking an extra year off because they have to work, because they don't have the money to afford to go to college, to afford to go to university. It's crazy. Our economy is forcing students to continue their education for better jobs, but causing them to remain in debt for many years after they've graduated. It's insane. So now, this entire conversation is just my discussion on my university and my university information that I know. And I'm speaking from the perspective of a high school student who's already applied, who's been accepted, who I've received my packages and all my information and stuff. But I can't speak for college because I've never considered applying to a college, nor am I going to college. But feel free to give me your experience and your information, and if you want to talk about universities and colleges and programs, like, feel free to do that in the comments, because I'm totally always up for talking about education, obviously, because, like, I want to be a teacher, so, like, I really like school and stuff. So, yeah, thanks for listening.